far surpassing the expectations of their creator. The Wayfarer had ultimately swayed the course of history. Smythe's clothes, with the aid of the Tommies, successfully drove the aggressors out of Westminster. The retreating forces, of which there were few, were silently disposed of. A feeling of calm swept the city, all uncertainty fading into the background. Very few Londoners truly knew what was in store for the future, and very few ever would. Falling to their demise, the final seconds of Smythe's life were spent watching their replacement shrink into the distance. She considered the events leading up to this moment and all the ways such a fate could have been avoided. However, in some small part, it came as a relief. Passing the torch had always been part of the plan, and now her job was done. The future was no longer her burden to carry. Within the hour of Smythe's death, the automatic process of finding a replacement had already begun. After slaying their creator, the Wayfarer's road to power was wide open. The temptation of following in their own footsteps was too great to turn down. The new Smythe willingly underwent the procedure of replicating their predecessors' memories. The Tommies, under the direction of Smythe, became an asset of the Angel Troopers, a friendly face to soften the blow of total subjugation. The Pistols of Camden would remain individualistic to the end, fending off attempts to seize power in the borough for as long as they could. The future was bleak, yet for most, conceding wasn't an option. Following the Battle of Westminster, the Wayfarer was expelled from the Pistols. The Camden Council voted unanimously in favor of this motion. The idea that one of their own could be involved in a regime so antithetical to their beliefs was a hit to the borough's morale. For the time being, Miller's men were left alone. They were deemed too much of a hassle to deal with, and Islington was blockaded. While they would occasionally sneak out and attack neighbouring boroughs, their rage, for the most part, turned inwards. With no outlet for their fury, this spawned a culture of infighting. Gangs of Miller's men would beat each other to the death over trivial matters. Fortunes were lost and won at a swing of a fist. Only one thing united them: their devotion to their leader, Miller. Traders came and went, but the Croydonians rarely crossed the bridge that had been built for them. They regarded the rest of the world with disinterest, and they were better off for it. Smythe supplemented the Tommy garrison in Brickton with Angel Troopers. The newcomers were cold and efficient in their transformation of the settlement. The Bricktonian dream extinguished, they were quickly brought into the fold of Smythe's plans. The gentry celebrated their perceived victory over the invading forces, believing they had established definitive control over the city. In reality, the process in which their liberties would be stripped away had only begun. According to Smythe's vision, they were to be the tools through which Parliament controlled the proletariat. The vagabonds surged in strength under their popular leader, gaining wide control over East London. For those that were part of Sebastian Gaunt's growing cult following, it was a golden time. For those who were formerly with the Syndicate, or suspected of being so, dark and bloody days would come. The Thames folk decided they'd had enough of the disappearances. A movement formed to leave London for good. Those who stayed behind did so forever, looking behind their backs. Archie, like many young men, struggled to find his place in Old Blighty. Never truly at home, he wandered the waste searching for a place to hang his head. He saw the world, or what was left of it, but always traded a comfortable bed for a new horizon every chance he got. Kira continued her pursuit of treasures through the capital, always seeking greater and more daring gains. Though riches greased her palms, it was never enough, and true happiness always eluded her. Thanks to Dr. Herbertson's experiments, Arthur Mountbatten's battle against the darkness was a defiant one. He would spend the remainder of his days making up for lost time. He helped others the best he could in this strange new world that he had helped to create. When the time came, he would ask the Wayfarer for one final favor, an end to his troubles. He would do it with a smile. For what better person could give him his death than the person who gave him life? And so, the Wayfarer's journey came to an end. But it was not the end of history, only the beginning. Because in mankind's pursuit of power, there is no price too high, no life too valuable, and no ideal too sacred. Because war never changes.